Greetings and welcome everyone to Cubemen 2. Cubemen 2 is a strategy game where you are a block and you go attack other blocks and you're like, ah, yeah, take that block, and it's also surprisingly fun. Now, you're probably looking at the graphics right now and being like, holy crap, is that what I'm supposed to be playing as? Just one solid color? And to answer your question, no. Well, I mean, you can if you want to be, but you can actually customize how your characters look in the customization option. You can be knights, cowboys, or gridmen. You can also download new skins for $1 and just play as those, like this luchador. Oh, I should probably purchase that, but you know, I'm being cheap. So I'm going to be a cowboy. You can also change the look of the levels. You can make it Chinese inspired. You can make it inspired by a warehouse or Minecraft even. You can probably tell aesthetically from the character models that this game is in fact inspired by Minecraft, but just the general look of the game is very Minecrafty. You know what, I'm going to stick to the Highland since it's basically Minecraft except it's free, and I like free. Let's click play. Okay, so this is the single player option up here. You have a campaign, which you can click here, and you also have a level select. So I'm going to select one of the levels over here, which is tabletop. And now this will show you your ranking and the best online. Well, your best score, your last score, and the best online. Now, I'm apparently the only one that's played this because I'm ranked #1, so yay me, even though I'm rubbish. So I'm sure since this game is just so new, I'll eventually be ranked like 1 million. But let's get ready to play. So this is the level. This is what we'll be playing on. And this is the menu where we can choose what mode we want to play. Do we want to play defense or rescue? Defense is a tower defense, basically, where you just defend your towers and you go attack the other towers and survive for as long as you can. But you can also change the difficulty of the AI and such like that. I'm going to be elite and I'm going to be playing on rescue instead. Rescue is a mode where there's a group of these little children who want to come across to your house, and you're like, well, children, come along. But the other bad guys are like, children, don't you dare go to there. Go to that man. And the way that they persuade the children to not go to your house is by shooting them. So we're going to shoot them back. So let's play that. Let's do a 5-minute one. We can also choose the random locations of the towers. Like you see the little towers here in the background. The yellow one, the blue one, and stuff like that. That will be randomized. Actually, you know, I'll pick the default one. Let's do 2 enemies. 2 enemies basically means that that's how many people will be versing. You see there's a red tower and a green tower here. That'll mean like we'll be versing one of them. So let's start it up. Alright, so if we look here, the yellow units are the enemies, and then those are their spawn points. Up here in the top left is where the civilians will spawn that we need to rescue, or the children as I called them. So let's bring in some units over here to prevent the bad guys from shooting them, because they really don't like these children for some reason. It's so grumpy. Ugh, hate them. So we can select a unit to spawn by clicking on them on the left hand side of the screen here, or we can press the corresponding number. So this is the first unit, so we can press 1 to select him and click somewhere on the map to spawn him, and say over here is the number 7, so we can press 7 to spawn him. So now you see on the side you see that this character has just faded out. So that means I cannot spawn him because I don't have enough currency. The amount of currency required to spawn in a unit is listed in the bottom right of their image. So you see how it says 70. We need to make sure that we have enough cubes in order to spawn him. So you see up here in the top right we have 149, 169 now. So we can spawn him in. But if we don't have enough of the number in the bottom right of his little icon there, then that means we won't be able to spawn him. So we got to make sure that we have enough cubes in order to spawn the enemy, or spawn our allies, so that we can actually, you know, put them onto the battlefield. And that's how it works. The cubes is your currency in this game. So you want to make sure that you have enough of that. The way that you get currency is by attacking enemies. So once you kill an enemy, you'll get a cube, which will give you a set amount. If it's a high-leveled enemy, they'll give you more cubes than a low-leveled enemy will. So you see, if this enemy right here, if that enemy was to die, we would get about 10 cubes. Let's have a look. Hopefully this one will die soon. Wow, he's just not going to die. Really? He's got 6... There we go. 5 cubes we'll get off of him for his death. So now that will be added to our total amount. So if we only had 5 cubes, for example, then we could only spawn in units that cost 5 cubes. But because we have 224, we can spawn in 220 worth of the 10 ones and 120 of the 20 worth ones. Basic stuff like that. So let's just spawn in a bunch more units. I find the best strategy in this game is to just have a huge quantity of soldiers and units just standing right outside of their base. So, oh, whoops, we've wasted all of our little things. So now, you'll see how we have tons of units. Now, something you can do with the units is that if you look in the bottom left, you'll see a little stats, a level, a rate of fire, damage, and the range. You can increase all of these by leveling them up by clicking next level. They'll take some of your cubes away, but it will increase their stats. So they'll shoot more often, they'll do more damage, and they'll have a wider range. So let's just increase their level. Now you can select, once you select a unit, you can then press U in order to level them up if you don't want to use your mouse. So that's very nice and very convenient actually, since I pretty much just spam the one key so I can spawn in the grill unit, and then I spam the U key just so I can level them all up. I find it's the easiest way to win and just completely break the game. So we've rescued 12 civilians so far. I think that'll be enough. So let's actually, just to be safe, spawn in some more units. So now in the bottom right, we can actually change this pace of the game. So we can actually make it go into slow motion if we want to take our time. So if it's going too fast and we need to recuperate, we can just slow everything down. And then we can be like, okay, so this is happening here, and that's happening there. And then we can just carry on like that. But if you've already figured out what you're going to do and you want to see just play out, you can go into fast. Although I find I would like a very fast option, because sometimes like in the 20-minute long matches, I'll have pretty much covered the entire board in units, so I pretty much automatically won, except now there's like 10 minutes left of me just watching me just completely wreck the enemy. So that would be nice if there was another faster option. So yeah, there we go. We're just about to win. Oh, actually, hold on. They're all the way over here. I didn't even realize they were over there. Crap, I forgot all about this spawn over here. Whoops, my bad. So let's just spawn in a ton more enemies. And just like that, they're all gone. See, the grill unit seems to be really powerful because he's so cheap and he's so easy to mass produce. It's like, why wouldn't I have millions of them all over the board, just completely destroying them? They do have fairly low health, but just because they're so cheap and so easy to produce, the pros outweigh the cons, and just because of how easy it is to produce, you can just spam it, and it's so cheap, so easy. It's like, why wouldn't you use it? It's amazingly effective, and it pretty much wins the game for you. You start off the game, you spawn in 1,000,000 of them, and then you just annihilate the enemies, and then from the cubes that you've gathered from killing them, you just spawn in more of your little guys, and then it's just like, well, now you've got the entire field full of them. It's ridiculous. Now let's do Highlands. Now let's try out the defense. And wait, hold on, that was actually on Elite, so the highest difficulty setting you saw me play just then. That was the very highest difficulty setting. Wow, okay, so I'm going to play on Pro for the defense, since I'm not actually as good on that. So now we have our little custom rules that we have here, so we can just do Classic, which is basically the basic mode, which is just wait until the amount of waves run out, and then you won. And then there's also Limited Cubes, which is you start off with a lot of money, but then you don't gain any money from killing anything, or from the crates, which I don't think I mentioned, so I'll be sure to mention that soon enough. You can only buy Ricky Rockets. That's another type of spawn, another type of unit that you can purchase. It was number 6 or 7 or something like that. And you can also, and there's also Limited Men, which is actually sounds quite cool. But I'll just show you Classic for now. Let's fight against one enemy. Yep, there we go. So there's their tower, and here's our tower. Now we've got to defend our own little tower. So let's start spawning in our minions. So as usual, I'm just going to mass produce them as quickly as possible. Actually, hold on. Let's get them closer down there. My guys are gonna wreck you guys. Look at that. See, and now we already, since they're so weak and they don't really do anything, they only give us 1 cube. So yeah, now we're gonna have to wait here for a little while. Let's actually speed up the game. So now hopefully, oh right, the teleporter here is something that'll allow you for your units to teleport. So once they go in there, they'll teleport up, and then they'll go up there. It's simple as that. So if, say for example, you want to get your unit over here, they'll have to go through the teleporter to get there. And now also in certain maps, it is a lot easier if they get onto the teleporter for a certain, like for travel. So if they have to go, say, over here and the teleporter will take them over there, well then obviously they would just take the teleporter to go there, then going the long way around. Alright, so let's actually take this crate here, which I wanted to show off. Now I also want to spawn in some more units, there we go. Alright, there we go. So we just collected a crate which was called Mega Pain. Now each crate does special abilities. The red one just inflicts a ton of damage on enemies and it allows you to basically take a break because your units are pretty much all relaxed. Also, leveling up your units will increase their health. So if they're on, like, say, 16% health like this one here and we level them up, well, oh, bam, 100% health. Now that is just an awesome way to cheese your enemy because they'll just be like, oh my god, he's going to be on like 10 health, he was nearly dead, then just level him up and then bam, you're at maximum health and you don't need to waste your units. So it is good to wait. So there's like this little risk versus reward type of thing for waiting on leveling up your units. Now your units could potentially die in a certain instance, but if you level them up in that instance, then, well then you've saved their life. But at another time, they might have never even gone into that situation had you already leveled them up. So it's like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? It's very nice. Aha, so we just found a white crate, which gives us tons of cubes for us to abuse. Now I'm just going to actually just level up all these guys. Make sure they're all max level. There we go. You press U to level them up on the keyboard so you don't actually have to continually click. There we go. So now let's put some guys up here. So this is just the basic unit that I'm using. The grill unit, which is the low HP but fast mover and does a bit of reasonable damage. But there are other units that you can use, like Flint here. He uses a flamethrower, and the flamethrower is pretty cool. It will automatically kill enemies that have low HP, but those that have higher HP will just get set on fire and will just burn until they die. So let's get him over here. There we go. So now we can upgrade him, and his range and damage will increase and such. Now he has a 3-second cooldown, so every 3 seconds he'll light someone on fire, which is very useful. So now hopefully we can get some more cubes soon so I can show you the rest of these guys. Suppose I could show you Milo. Milo turns into a landmine, so if we place him here, he'll turn into a landmine, which don't ask me how that's supposed to work, a person turning into a landmine. He doesn't place it down, he turns into it. Let's get a close-up look on this little guy turning into a landmine. How does it work? He just turns into it. There's no animation of him turning into it, he just bam, he's a landmine. That is weird. Now what's really confusing about that is that he actually holds a landmine in his hand as he's walking up there. See, he's got it in his hand, and then all of a sudden he just disappears, and now he's a landmine. He fuses with his landmine. It's quite ridiculous. But now let's go to Larry. Larry shoots ice lightning that will slow the enemy down, and it does very little damage. I think if we just look at his stats, it'll do actually 0 damage apparently. Wow, that is weird. The stats say his actual little thing here says it will do a little bit of damage, but here it says it'll do none at all, and that's maxed rank. Wow, so level 3 he'll do no damage? It's a bit confusing. So now this guy is low on health, but he's already maxed rank, so how do we increase his health? Well, that's with the health station over here. So once we go here, his health will increase, and it's simple as that. So if your units ever get low on health, you can send them to the nearest health station that will level them, that won't level them up, that will increase their health. And then after they've gone to the health station, they will go straight back to where they were. So if this guy was here, and then he goes to the health station, you won't even need to tell him to go back to where he was. Alright, so let's have our guy target this person over here. We can do so by just left-clicking it. So once the person is in our range, which is represented by this octagon here, I think that's what it is, he will be able to just target them. Okay, so Mister, could you please target that guy right there? Oh my, I'm making him move, damn it! So you can click on the unit that you want, and then have the unit focus on another enemy unit that you want him to attack. So that's a nice little way to have them all attack. But something that I'm not a big fan of is that you can't just highlight all of them and then highlight an enemy you want them to attack. There's no just mass producing of there's no just mass select on one single enemy, which is kind of weird that they wouldn't have that, since it's a strategy game, and strategy games are generally known for that. Okay, so that's a victory. So that's pretty much Cubemen 2. So remember, you can earn more points per kill the closer the mob is to their base. So that means they're encouraging spawn camping. So you heard it here first, kids. Spawn camping is great. Okay, yep. Let's exit this. let's play a different one over here. Mechanical, sure. No one has played on that. Let's play Highlands, which is our little customization thing, although it's intended to be played with the classic grey. How many enemies? Let's do 4. 5 minutes, you're a novice. So this is pretty much... Actually, hold on, yeah, defense. We're going to be playing defense with rockets. There we go. Just for a final game, then we'll stop. So we see here, we've only got this little guy to choose from. And that's basically the rule set. There are custom rule sets that you can choose, which will change how the game is played. It's very nice. Let's just give this... Can I... Okay. So we can just press 1 to select him and then mass produce him. There we go. This is going to be fun. Just watch everyone blow up. Alright, let's actually increase the speed. Now, oh, actually, I should mention that this game actually has amazing music. Oh, it's so amazing. There's the title theme. There's Ricky's theme. And also, holy crap, I love volume sliders. They've built in the volume slider into the game. You don't even need a pause. No. You can change the volume of the music while you... It is amazing. This is the best feature in a game I have ever played. You know what? Screw it. This is the best game I have ever played in my entire life. And this actually enriches the entire genre of strategy games. Just having this type of volume slider in it, and the music changing is just, oh, it's fantastic. I love it. Seriously, volume sliders are amazing. I love them so much. Oh crap, they got into my tower. Well, I was busy looking at the freaking thing. Yeah, so that's how you lose. Basically, they go into your tower, and then they just absorb in it, and then you'll lose a life. So that's that. So thank you for sticking around, everyone. This has been Cubemen 2. Actually, hold on. I gotta talk about the level creator. So you can create your own level like this, where you just sculpt, basically, like that. We can also lift the tile up, move it up into the ground. So it's pretty basic stuff, actually. Whoa, what the hell is that going on there? It's amazing. It's very basic. And by basic, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean basic in the sense that it's simple to create your own levels. You don't need to be a Captain Genius number 72. You don't need to be a scientist to be able to create your own level. You can create... I can create a level. If I can do it, you can do it, and I believe in you, man. So I'm gonna go just create a map right now, and I'll come back in a little bit with my map fully completed, and I'll see you there. Done! So now we are playing on the best map ever created, which is called mine. Let's actually play Rescue, since I actually really like the Rescue game mode. It's very simple, very basic, and I love it. It's made just for me. So now let's just mass produce our units as we normally do. There's actually an achievement for not spawning in Grill, and I'm just never going to get that achievement ever, just because I love Grill so much. He is the cheapest, he is the best, it is fantastic. Alright, so now we're supposed to be going over here, protecting this thing. Okay, so we need to go protect that, and actually, hold on. I was just trying to show you off how it's supposed to work. So, this is pretty much been... Why isn't that public? Make it public. What is it? Delete? No. Yay! My level passed the rigorous test. There we go. Once it is public, it is available. Oh, save and publish. There we go. We are publishing Penis to the 3 Sprockets servers. There we go. 3 Sprockets is the developers of the game, by the way. There we go. Penis was published successfully. So now you guys can all go play on Penis, which is just, you know, definitely not a penis. I mean, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Anyway, this has been Cubemen 2, and it has been fantastic. It's a very fun game. I recommend you all purchase it at least 7 times. GG.